guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. If you're new here, you're welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about something very important. We're going to be talking about spare the rod and spoil the child. Spare the rod and spoil the child is a normal proverb or idiom that is ancient. It is actually old-fashioned because it has been existing ever since the world was created, and many people have been having so many ideas, so many thoughts, so many definitions about what spare the rod and spoil the child is. Every African parent, especially African parents, every of them have their own meaning attached to it. So your own meaning is not their own meaning. The way they decide to spare their own rod and spoil their own child is not the same way you would want to do your own. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you how my mother, hey God, my parents, how they actually spare their own rod and spoils their own child. Disclaimer, this video is just an enlightenment kind of video. I don't expect you to criticize my mother in any way. If I see you criticizing my mother in the comment section, I'm going to block you, because I mean that was their own way of sparing their own rod and spoiling their own child. I mean that was their own way of disciplining their child. Of course, I know that my mom is going to be watching this video. I don't know if she can really recall, but it can never go away from my head. And also, it was me and my younger sister Jenny. They did this to the two of us, so we can never forget, even though they are going to forget. So, how did this happen? Growing up in the place where we grew up in Lagos, we had one of our brother from our church that was staying close to us. Like, his house was opposite our own house, his compound was opposite our own compound, and because his compound was there, we frequented his house very well. We go there, me and my younger sister Jenny, we go there, we eat, and we come back. We go there, we wash his clothes, not wash his clothes, wash his plates, cook food, eat, clean the house, just minor chores like that. We do it for him, and then at the end of the day we get rewarded. He can give us money. We're young now. I was like 15. I wasn't so young, but I was young. So he would give us money, or he would cook for us and would eat and all this kind of stuff. So it was going up fine. Like, my parents knew because he was a member of our church, so everybody was just comfortable. So it was, I mean, it was our role model. It was also like a father to us, apart from our normal father. So on this fateful day, I and Jenny went to his house, and as usual, we did everything we normally do where we go there. We ate, we swept the house, we cooked, we did everything. But unlike the other days, we stayed in that particular place till after 9, almost getting to 10. And my parents are not the kind of person that when you come back from anywhere you go to late, they will just overlook it. No, they have to discipline you for that. So that day, I mean, we got on their nerves that day. So they actually wanted to just deal with us. So they did not call us. We were there, we were gisting, laughing. They did not call us. They did not call him to tell us to start coming back. They just left us. In fact, they were like, leave the children, let them enjoy themselves. So that was what happened. We enjoyed ourselves, and then we came back. When we came back, you know how when you come back from maybe a trip that your parents did not want you to go, they welcome you so well. That welcoming is quite different from the normal welcoming, because this one will be so nice, be so, you know, you yourself, you start suspecting that this cannot be original. That was what happened that day. We came back, my mom was like, welcome. That is so unusual for my mom to tell you welcome. So she told us welcome, and we entered. She gave us food, we ate, like, you know, now normal. And they allowed us go to bed. And you know, African parents, they don't beat you that time that something happened. They allow it slide. They make it look like they've forgotten about that thing. Then eventually they come up and they flog you. Then you yourself, you start asking yourself, what did I do? Like, you would have forgotten that you did something bad. That was the case. That was our case. We came, we ate. There was light that day. We ate, we watched television, and then we went to sleep. It was around, I think, after 11 or to 12, when everywhere was now quiet. The whole neighborhood were already sleeping. Nobody was awake. My mother and my father, God, they now switch off the light. they now switch off the light. And they switch off the light. See, they now put pepper, dry pepper, inside a plate. I'm sure they added salt, because I mean that pepper must always go with salt. They now added it and added water. and they now mixed it. God of Israel. Me and my sister Jenny that day, God. They now did they tie us? I'm not sure if they tied us, but I think they tied us because the way they held us, we couldn't run. So I'm sure they tied us, and then they locked the door, obviously, because it was night. So they now sprinkled that pepper inside our eyes, pour it on our body. Pour it. In fact, I can remember very, very well that that pepper entered inside my private part because everywhere was hurting me. So when they sprinkled it on us, that was not the end. They started flogging us on top of that hotness that we are feeling on our body. So it was so terrible. We cried and cried and cried. And at that point, I was beginning to wonder if these people were really my parents because I was so frustrated. Normal now, you know, when they beat you, that's when you start asking yourself, are you sure this person is my mother? You're asking yourself, are you sure this person is my mother? Are you sure this person is my father? Are you sure they did not bring me up from somewhere? That's why they hate me like this. So that was what was going through my mind. They flogged us. God, they flogged. I can never ever in my life, I cannot forget that day. They flogged us. Plus that pepper, we cannot even see because the pepper was not in our eyes now. So we cannot even see where we are going to. They flogged us. When they were now okay, like satisfied that they've done something very good, and now left us, and now opened the door, we now went outside. And the neighbors did not come out because everybody was already sleeping. So everybody was like wondering what's happening. But nobody came out because even if they had come out, my parents would not have opened that door till they finished dealing with us. So they left us later, and then we went out and we cried. Me and Jenny, we cried. I consoled her, she consoled me. And then that was how that day just slided. And then the next day, we didn't eat normal. Now, you know, when they just finish beating you, that first week, you will not eat because you want them to know that you are angry. That is always what I do. I don't eat my mom's food. I prefer to just even stay hungry. Maybe when she has gone out, that's when I'll go and steal food and eat. But when she's around. I don't try to eat when she's around. So the next day, normal things just happened. Then eventually, we now reconciled. I and my mom. So the whole point of this story is to show you how far my parents went. I mean, this is one of the most outrageous that my parents has gone. I know my parents are very good in disciplining somebody. Like they will beat you till you start wanting to go. We used to envy other people's parents because we used to be like, why is it that these people, their papa, do they beat them? Now only this is our house and they beat us. So, what is your own definition of sparing the rod and spoiling the child? Just like every African parent, do you think that beating your child to that point, or even beating your child at all, is the right way for you to correct a child? Or do you feel like just talking to your child, like giving them words of advice, is the right way? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section. But as for me, hey God, I'll be my child. I'll flog my child. I was telling my elder sister that, you see this Beverly and Bernice, if I were their parents, as Beverly is now, she will have her own size of kid. In case you don't know, my elder sister has 2 children, Beverly and Bernice. Bernice should be 2 and Bernice should be 1. So I was telling her that if I give birth to my children, if they are 2 years old, I'll give them a 2 years old kind of stick like cane. So that when they do something bad, I'll flog them. Because I'm of the opinion that when children are growing up, yes, you cannot actually beat them or like do things that are drastic to them. But then the kind of training you on them is what they're eventually going to grow up with. If you are so soft and lenient on your children, especially girls, in fact, let's not even go to girls, especially girls and boys, anyway, any child, if you are so soft on your children, it is going to reflect in their character. And then they will eventually start misbehaving when they grow up. I watched something happened sometimes last 2 weeks where a boy, was it a 21-year-old boy, was scattering their house. I don't know. I'll look for that clip and just add it. The thing is everywhere. It was everywhere on social media that the boy was breaking the doors, breaking the windows, breaking everything, pouring the curry, pouring Maggi, everything. The boy scattered the house. What can you say about that? I think it is solely on poor parenting. They did not discipline that child because you cannot tell me. That boy is 21 years old. My younger sister Jenny is 20. I think I'll be 21. She should be their age mates. Even though Jenny was In fact, when I was younger, when I was like 16, you cannot tell me that I will just stay like this and I will start scattering the house because my mother seized my phone. Because that was the excuse they gave, that the mom seized the boy's phone. That was why he was scattering the house. Do you know how many times they used to seize our phone in a week? Do you know how many times they used to seize our phone in a week? And we don't even dare talk back. Like, we're just there like begging. And then they seized your phone. Sometimes they will give you back and then you're just scattering. It doesn't make sense. So you not tell me that a child that was, see, Africans, I just give it to Africans, we know how to rear our children. We have the best children in the whole wide world, as far as I'm concerned, because you will not see a typical African child destroying his or her house, like his or her parents' house, in the name of in fact, you cannot, except you have mental problem, except you are sick. But if you are in your right senses, no matter how stubborn you are, you will not. You cannot. So I was just saying that my own children, I'm going to actually spare the rod, though. Like, I'll flog them, but not to the point of actually putting pepper inside their eyes, just like my mom did. My mom did that. My parents, not my mom. It was not my mom alone. It was my mom and my dad. It was a joint. It was a collaboration. They did a collabo. So they did that because I don't know their reasons. I don't know. Maybe my mom's, like my grandmom did it to my mom. So my mom felt like this is what I should discipline the children with. I don't know. I don't even know how they came up with that idea. But that is not the part. If you must discipline your child, please look for simple means to do it. I mean, there are cheaper ways now. There are how to discipline these children, not putting like that kind of thing that will now maybe that could have resulted, like if it's just the grace of God, it would have resulted to something that we cannot say with our mouth. So that is it. What next? So please train up your child in the way your child should grow, because when your child grows, that child will never depart from that training. I strongly believe in that scripture. See, let me tell you, scriptures are inspired words of God. They are just the truth, nothing but the truth. They are just the truth. They speak the truth. They speak everything that we're supposed to know. So that is what I have to say. If you have any suggestion, if you have any advice, if you feel that any part of any words I've said this day, like now I'm not supposed to say it, or maybe I made a mistake somewhere, or you feel like I made an error somewhere, please drop it down on the comment section so I get to hear you and we all get to hear you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by in today's video. See you in my next video. Bye bye.